Hello everybody out in YouTube, this is Michael, the Geek for Life, with a little bit of a different review. Normally I do unboxings, but I've been pulling back on those a little bit and buying some other stuff, so I thought I would display and review some of that. And I'm going to start with a Walking Dead building set from McFarlane Toys. This one specifically is Daryl with Chopper. Now, most of the buildings that you'll see are iconic scenes or locations, that kind of thing. This one doesn't seem to be a specific scene. It's just Daryl riding down the street on his iconic motorcycle, which I guess sort of counts. This is one of the cheaper sets. I think you can easily find it for under $20, so it won't break the bank or anything. These are a little bit different than Legos. I do believe they are interchangeable, but I haven't tried that yet. But they are meant to be sort of looked at as opposed to played with. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this one. As you can see on the box there, 154 pieces. It's not a very complex set. And this is what it looks like. You can see there's a lot of detail in it. I'm going to try to turn it just a little bit. And you can see the walker wobbling a little bit. That is because he is actually not fastened to the display. You can take him up and move him. Whoop. Sorry, it's a little hard for me to coordinate. I thought it'd be easier. So you can see, of course, the walker's on the one side of the guardrail and Daryl's on the other driving by. There's some imperfections in the asphalt. Daryl himself is also not fastened to the motorcycle. He can come off. I'm not going to, but he can come off. His crossbow is actually right here on the back, and that just comes off and goes on. And that's actually what the instructions said to do with it. If I can get it back on there. Yep. So, pretty nice piece, a lot of detail, definitely has that grungy Walking Dead feel to it. Now, even though it looks impressive, it was actually a harder build than it looks. Most of it was pretty simple, but there were some issues starting out. Oh, not focused again. For example, on the instruction manual here, this is actually the first step. You can see those little black pieces. It says you need 11 of them. Those are actually brown. And that took me a little bit to figure out. You can see them here where the grass is. Those are brown. And there were a couple of inconsistencies in the manual like that. So you'll definitely have to keep an eye on what you're doing. That kind of thing. There's also, on the road here, behind Daryl's back tire, there's a little piece with a little something that pops up. And you have to make sure you get that in the right place because his wheel will fasten to that so it stays in place. Another thing that was an issue was the grass actually isn't, even though it goes in those little holes, it really isn't super secure. So if the piece were to turn upside down, a lot of those would probably come out. But they do look good there. Excuse me. The hardest part about this particular build was the motorcycle itself. It doesn't look super complicated, but it actually is. A lot of little tiny pieces. It was definitely the most frustrating part. In fact, there are two pieces not on it. I just couldn't get them on it. They're very small. They're actually on the opposite side between the guardrail and Daryl himself. But they're just two tiny little pieces. You couldn't even see them, so I just left them off. That's really it, but that bike will frustrate you if you try to build it. Definitely the hardest part. Everything else is pretty simple as long as you can figure out that they did change the color in the manual or instruction manual from brown to black in some places. I don't know why they did that, but they did. So this piece, like I said, fairly cheap. Definitely a good piece. I like looking at it. It's definitely there. I almost view it as sort of an art piece, honestly. So there that is. I do have several more of these building sets. Two more already constructed. I will be doing videos on those. And hopefully I'll get the rest of them to you soon. I actually have most of them. I'm working on getting the rest. And once that's done, I will hope to get a complete set up online for you to look at. Until next time, this is Michael the Geek for Life signing out. If you like what you saw, feel free to subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment. And if you didn't like what you saw, go ahead and hit the thumbs down button. That's okay. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.